having a good time. I was asked by Lisa to come here and tell you about a 4.5 months journey at sea in 7 minutes. So I had two options. I could either talk really, really fast, or I can just tell you of a couple of stories of our journey. I'll choose the latter for your sake and mine. In April last year, I told my partner, Riaan Manser, that I really like to go to New York. And if anybody knows Riaan, he's not somebody that does something in a conventional manner. So with a glint in his eye, he said, I'll take you, but we're going my way. And that happened to be in a rowboat. So in 30th of December last year, we left from Agadir, Morocco. We left from Agadir, Morocco, our final destination, the Statue of Liberty in New York City. We had a custom-built 7-meter rowing boat. We had some storage at the back. Our sleeping cabin was in the front. It was about 1.5 meters wide, 7 meters long. When Riaan and I were in the cabin, you literally sit shoulder to shoulder against each other. Now, my suggestion is, if you want to do something like this, you have to know the person very, very well. Or you'll just get to know the person very, very well. We had a bucket for our toilet. Then our washing machine was also a bucket. Our shower was a bucket. Now, the only problem is we only had one bucket. Our journey took us, we were on the sea for 4.5 months. For 2.5 months of that time, we didn't see any land. For 2.5 months, we didn't see any people, just each other. And for 2.5 months, we only spoke to each other. Now, the amazing thing about this was, during this whole journey, Riaan and I never had an argument. I'm talking total crap. The record for not talking to each other was 2.5 days. And I really can't remember who buckled first. But it's not easy not speaking to the only person you physically can speak to for that amount of time. We had some horrific times on the boat. It's not an easy journey. We were 2,000 kilometers from the closest land, Canary Islands. Huge 25-foot waves picked up our rowing boat and capsized us. I was stuck underneath the boat because I couldn't get my foot out of the foothole. Riaan was thrown out of the boat. Our satellite phone broke that day because apparently salt water and electronics don't mix. But the worst part came when we were about 2,500 kilometers from the closest land. Riaan thought it would be a good idea to film the boat from the water. So he's got the GoPro in his one hand, and he's only got his underpants in the middle of the Atlantic. And when he tries to swim back, he can't swim like a normal person will because he's got the GoPro in his hand. And he starts swallowing water. And he grabbed for the boat 3 times and he missed. And when he missed the 3rd time, he stopped swimming. And my heart, I can't tell you how that felt. Because in a matter of seconds, he was 30, 40 meters away from the boat. I can't turn that boat around myself and row against the wind. So what saved him is he saw the fishing line that we were trawling behind the boat, grabbed onto the fishing line, and I literally slowly reeled him in. It's the best fish I've ever caught. In situations like that, when we were scared on the boat, you weren't scared of breaking a leg. You weren't scared of getting sick. When we were scared of dying. But the thing about the human condition is you don't think about dying, you think about surviving. When we reached the Bahamas on our Atlantic crossing, we landed in an island called San Salvador. And that was the same island Christopher Columbus landed on when he discovered the New World in 1492. And when we landed in Bahamas, I became the only woman from our continent to have rowed across any ocean. So that made me very proud. Thanks. So we're trekking through the Bahamas, and we got to a place called Stanhill Key, where we see the pigs swimming in the water. Where do you see that? We had to row all that way to see something amazing like that. We reached Miami, and when we reached Miami, Riaan and I became the only people in history to have ever rowed from Africa to North America. Wow. Only people in the world. Sometimes I wish I told Riaan that I just wanted to go to Miami. Because when we reached Miami, it was still another month at sea before we reached New York City. And that was definitely the most dangerous part. It was the most technical part. We had land on our left-hand side, and we had this Gulf Stream on our right-hand side. Now, land for a rowing boat is never a good idea. And the Gulf Stream should be the eighth wonder of the world. If we landed in the Gulf Stream, it would have taken us to the UK and not New York. Everything broke on that stretch. The day we left Miami, our water maker broke. On that stretch, our autopilot broke. We had to steer with our oars. Our GPS transmitter broke. Our satellite phone was already broken. The only thing that didn't break was our ice maker. I'm joking, we didn't have one. So we managed to row past Cape Hatteras, and Riaan and I used to make the joke saying, "Don't worry, you won't die of hypothermia because the sharks will eat you." 5 days from the end, we were almost run over by a Russian oil tanker in the middle of the night, 5 days from the end. I am not an adventurer. I'm just a normal person that did something adventurous. Thanks to Riaan.